Hi traders, and it's a 3-day weekend for the UK and the US, but not Europe and Asia. So let's do a short video, but a thorough look at these markets because it's very interesting. S&Ps are made an all-time new high on Friday, but we are very close to the previous. It's an all-time high close, but it's not an all-time high. We are just narrowly, very narrowly above it. You just see this little spike up here was above it. So where do we go from here? Well, it's a lot of resistance. I think we'll see a pullback in the early part of the week, a move up, but we have US GDP on Thursday. So that's what the market's looking at. It could be that we pause and drift until Thursday, unless this market's telling us that they know something that the rest of us don't. But basically, you just got to go with the charts. I mean, if the charts are telling you that the markets are bullish, then be bullish. But just be warned. I mean, let's just have a look at the scale of where we are. In other words, what's the RSI like? Well, it's highish, but not extended. Volume is coming off, so we're coming up on slightly lower volume, as you can see from this weekly bar here. Sorry, that's daily on the right, weekly on the left. The weekly is getting high RSI. So we are very extended. Now cross-match that to the NASDAQ. So it's a very nice breakout over the last 3 days on the NASDAQ. That's a huge bullish bar on that chart there on the weekly. So that's a buy at 36.35 on the NASDAQ, and the Dow is somewhat lagging. You can see I've marked off this high of the 4th of April. So we're very close to the high of that 4th of April. We could just nick. I've been looking for the Dow to short. My short is literally, my short setup is here on this April 4th high. If we get up here on Tuesday and then start to close lower, then I'll start to get bearish. But close up here, hold up here, and we could at least retest 2013 highs. But I'm just on high alert for any short signals because of the part of the cycle we're in. Right, let's go to commodities. And I got taken surprise by the strength of the Dow. I also got taken by surprise in the strength of the oil. If I can just find it for a moment, bear with me. And so I'm expecting some weakness in the early part of the week, but that 103 or 102.60 area is a buy to see if we can push up higher. So the early part of the weakness into last week got bought as major support level, and we've flown up. So a high RSI at the moment. So I'm looking for that pullback area. The gold I am standing well away from. The highs are just getting sold just as the lows are getting bought. So I'm just leaving it. The wheat, I actually think this is a potential buy here. We've had a huge sell from $7.43 down to $6.52, but $6.50 is a big number. It's a 50% fibs. I'll be very interested where we open and close on Tuesday, because I think that again, cyclically, this is a potentially good place to buy the wheat. So I'll be looking at that. The rice is not doing it yet. I've been looking at the rice. I am on high alert for that because that's coming to a major support level. So let me just flip back to beans. Beans look very extended up there. In fact, there's a reversal bar in the daily. And the corn, look at that weekly. That's a hammer-like bar there. It's a close. Start moving above $4.80. and that could, that's already looking as if that's potentially reversing. Look at the RSI just coming off the lows. So I think if you see 475 on the call, that's a good buy there. Forex, I've bought the low in this Aussie US. I think this Aussie US is going to perk up. Now I know first thing you're going to tell me is, but Mike, that's a very bearish weekly there. But I'd look at the fibs on this Aussie US. We pan right back from this. I've taken it from the lows of 2010 and the highs of July 2011. We came down and held this bottom of this fib zone. We're now holding 38.2. This was 23.6. I think the fact we're holding 38.2 means we stand a chance of pushing higher. It's low RSI. It's had a lovely move up from January this year. It peaked on April 10th. So I'm long this with a stop under the weekly lows, because if we close above 92.50, I think that stands a chance of getting a bounce. Pound yen kept banging its head against a lot of resistance last week and the back end of last week after that nice move up. So I would love to see 171 again. So retest of these May 16 highs, mid-May highs, to see if we can push up to 173, 175. Euro, let's stick with the pounds for now. Let's be logical. Stopping bar in the weekly, be interesting at 167.50. If we see 167.50 again and hold, I will be a buyer of the pound US to see if that can go higher. Euro, I think we're due a bit of a bounce on this, but I'm just not touching it here. If we get a bounce into 137, I'd love to get short, otherwise I will leave it. Euro yen, that looks already as if that could see a bounce up to 140. 140 is the place I would love to get short. Pound Aussie dollar, I want to see, I would love to buy 181. I'm looking for a pullback. So the early strength in the early part of the week, I should say, is what I meant to say. And so I would like to, in the Aussie, which I'm hoping will bring that down and give me a chance to get in at 181 on the pound Aussie dollar. The other one I like is the Swiss yen. I think this is a lagger, so I would like to. I'm going to buy 131. So 113.50 if I see it, and then see if I can get a move up to at least 115. Okay. Traders Round Table I will do on Tuesday night this week, as it's a 3-day weekend. So let's get Tuesday out of the way, and then we'll get Traders Round Table, and I will advertise the theme for that and let you know. Alright, so stay tuned, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and have a happy time.